Thank you very much, Claude, for joining us today. It's much appreciated that you're spending your time to especially give for this cause. I just got a few questions, if I may clarify with you. We just want to know, so what are you hoping that this mass demonstration and rally will achieve today?
Well, I think there has to be radical change in Bangladesh, not Tweedledee and Tweedledum change. And in any case, you won't even get a Tweedledee, Tweedledum change, because a government that can murder its own citizens in the thousands is certainly capable of rigging elections or cancelling them. So I believe that only popular power, people's power, can alter the situation in Bangladesh for the benefit of future generations inside the country, and also to give those people of Bangladeshi origin outside the country a country to be proud of. This mass murder, this May massacre, is a game changer. Nothing will ever be the same in Bangladesh again. And I think that the Bangladeshi origin people around the world have to step up to the plate, have to stand up and be counted.
How does it make you feel?
This rally is part of that process.
And how does it make you feel when you see these the images of innocent people lying dead on the streets of Dhaka?
Well, I have seen many massacres in my time. The Sabra and Shatila massacre of Palestinian refugees in Beirut was actually in Beirut when the Israeli invaders came. And this marked the beginning of the end of international support for Israel. Nothing was ever the same again after Sabra and Shatila, and I think nothing will ever be the same again after this. People, old people, scholars, students, young people, people that were sleeping, were murdered. It's murder most foul, as Shakespeare put it. And it doesn't get much more foul than a massacre of thousands of your own people.
How do you think a change should come about? Do you think that Sheikh Hasina should step down from the government?
She will not step down, she'll have to be brought down. And part of that process is international condemnation and ostracism. I will be asking in Parliament on Monday what the British government plans to do to shun and ostracize this government of criminals, which is what, unfortunately, the people of Bangladesh now clearly has. And so, stepping down, I think, is not in their nature. They have deliberately committed this crime. They want chaos in Bangladesh. They want blood. Indeed, the whole purpose, the whole project of this government in Bangladesh is to get blood. They have no project, they have no agenda other than refighting battles from 40 years before.
So what is your message?
This crime is part of that.
What is your message to those who are currently laying siege to Hasina's headquarters?
They have to keep up the pressure. Only popular power will bring this government down. Popular power inside will be the hammer. The international community that we can rouse and rally has to be the anvil. And between that hammer and that anvil, this crime has to be broken.
What do you think the Bangladeshis in Britain, UK and abroad should do in order to try and put pressure for justice and peace in Bangladesh?
The elders will rally and talk, and that's important. But the young people, the second generation, the third generation, has to come up with more imaginative ways to break out of the circle that we're currently in. And I see that that's happening. Twitter storms and car convoys. We must use all the tools that are now available to us. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, car cavalcades, public activities, so that we get British people standing up and taking notice of this big crime. After all, Bangladesh is a British Commonwealth country. The Queen is the head of the Commonwealth. And the idea that we can have business as usual with a Commonwealth government that's drowning its country in its own people's blood is completely unacceptable.
How would you advise those who are living outside of Bangladesh to try and get information? Because as you know, the ruling current government has got a total media blackout and are only putting forth their own version of events.
They have, but nowadays such ploys never work. Everyone is a journalist now. Everyone is a photographer with their mobile telephone.
Yeah.
Everyone is a citizen journalist on Twitter and on Facebook. The days when dictatorships, or media moguls for that matter, could control information in the world are gone. now the citizen, if he looks for it, can find the truth. And I think on this one, more and more people are already doing so.
But those who are not so internet savvy and who get the news from the mainstream news, such as Al Jazeera and BBC, they are not getting the whole truth as such.
That's true. Although I never met many Bengalis who were not internet savvy. The Bengalis are very internet savvy, and I think that this news is travelling fast. And so the attempts to control the flow of information have already failed. People now know there was a big massacre in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
They can argue about the numbers, but the numbers are being the numbers that are being argued, even at their lowest, are in the thousands, more than were killed on 9/11 in the Twin Towers. That's a pretty gigantic crime by anybody's standards.
And finally, just one last question. It's just to say, how have you found today's event and organised by the Feb 28 campaign and working to bring justice to Bangladesh?
Magnificent. I cancelled my drive, or postponed it, to Bradford, to my own constituency where I have my surgery in the morning, but I must drive now. I was glad that I did so. Sorry that it was such an occasion as this, but being back in Tower Hamlets and amongst my old friends is a very important step, a very important return for me. I'm really privileged that I got the opportunity to be the chief guest here this evening.
Mr. George Galloway, thank you very much for your time.
Laja Gralo Wajib.